Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Sharon Henry, Sweet Such Sharon on YouTube. I hope everyone is having a good day. I am. I'm currently just relaxing and just want to talk to you guys a bit. Yes, I'm thinking of going back home, and I talked about how I introduced myself as coming into Canada. I got a job, and together my husband and myself, we worked, and we of course buy a property, and among other things we did our stuff, and God has blessed us. And now I reached the age of maturity, and establish myself here, and just feel in my bones that I would want to go back home to live, and my husband feel the same way too. So now we have a house here in Canada, one house, and we're thinking, when you have a house here, there are a lot of things that you can do. Depends on what the house is worth or whatever. So it's either you can, if you're gonna buy a house in Jamaica, or it depends on how you're going to go back. So my history now back home is that my parents are dead, and they died and they leave lands and stuff back home, and it's basically six, let me see, five of us that are still alive, and the land that were left after our parents died, which were their land, were taken by our two brothers, and basically were taken because when my mom was alive, she gave them access to the will, and my, when I say the will, there wasn't, my dad didn't leave a will, but my dad had properties, and so he had title for the properties that he have. But my mom unfortunately collaborated with my brothers, and they sell the lands, and whatever is left, they're still hogging it and say that the girls are not getting any. And their argument is like, we are married, we have stuff, so we don't need anything. Hence, we are not in a different position, that we're not richer than them, we're all poor. But fortunately, the girls in my family have done better than the men. The women have done better than the men. So their argument is that whatever their parents left is for them, because we don't need anything. So in case you have any question where I'm going to live, I'm not going to live on family properties. So that's why I'm here now, thinking that of course I have to go home, buy a property in one of those gated communities. I'm not thinking of going back home to buy land and to build structure. At this point of my life, no, that's not where I want to go. Mark you, I was thinking, and I remembered my grandfather's land, and my grandfather had a beautiful property with a stream, like they call them gully that run at the bottom of the property. And I'm telling you, when you look at the property, it has every fruit and vegetable that you can think about. Breadfruit, pineapple, the other, all kind of yams, bananas, chocolate, coffee, sugar cane. It's a beautiful land, and it's on a hillside, and then it has a level, like a valley, like, oh, I tell you, beautiful. I used to love to go there when I was a child. And for a while, it flashed in my mind, because the last time I visited my home, where I came from, that land was there. Nobody touched that land, it's just there. And my grandfather was one of the remnant of I don't know, they used to call them Bakras in Jamaica. Those people are from the slave masters. So his families were my grandfather family. We had two sides. They had two sides of the family. One used to work with nearer to the slave masters, and the other ones used to work in the field. Honestly, so one side of our family, my grandfather's side of the family was maybe the poor side. So they were called Ricketts. My grandfather's side was called Williams, and the richer side was called Ricketts. So it's Ricketts Williams. One of the boy who was the son of the slave owner was a houseboy. He married to my other side, which is my grandfather's side, sister. So hence the two family, intertwined. So they had lands, they had animals. So my grandfather had a land with a mill, a sugar cane mill on it. So we used to go there as children to go get sugar. We used to call it wet sugar and molasses. And he used to plant. He used to be a cane farmer, a coffee farmer, a chocolate farmer. And he had a very thriving piece of land with everything that you can think about. So in my mind, I was thinking about that land. And I'm like, whoa. If, say, I was like in my 20s, I would really go and I would build something on that land, go into farming and all of that. The land is so beautiful. It's like a therapy, the water running through it and all of that. Okay, so let me go back to what is important. So of course, I'm not thinking about going back home to build on land or structure on land. So for me, I have to be thinking about buying something, buying a property into a gated community to, continue my life. So when you have a property here, there are so many ways that you can do this. It's either that you can leave your property here to remain as an income property, or you can, get money from your saving or from what other source and buy a place there. It's two questions. If you are going to be going back and forth from here to Jamaica and you have a place in Jamaica, that place is going to need care. So if I have a property here and I'm going to say go back and forth from here to Jamaica, the question is, who is going to take care of that property? I hear now that in many of the gated communities, you can't do Airbnb. And some of them you can. So I would have to be considering who is going to take care of my property. Am I going to do Airbnb while I'm here? Am I going to do renting while I'm here? Is the property that I'm going to buy back home is big enough that when I go back to Jamaica, I can stay in one part of the property while the other part is rented? Because if you get good renters, they can be caretakers of the home too. So that's why I tell you that I'm researching. These are the things I'm looking at. Having a home here, it's kind of the same thing if we're going back and forth. So my home here is big enough that I can have renters and have my private room. I can stay in my ensuite, which in my ensuite I have washroom. It's private. I can be in my ensuite, and that's an apartment from the rest of my home. I have a basement that is finished, an apartment. If I want to upgrade it a little more, I can rent that out and do separate entrance that I can have income down there. And then I have other rooms that I can rent out, whether to students or even to other people. My house is big enough for that. And so that's how, that's my thinking. That's what I'm thinking. What am I going to do? How am I going to do this? All right. So, while I'm thinking, time is clicking. I watch real estate. I watch this program called Property property viewers, I believe they're called. I love that platform, so I watch them, and they are the ones who show you properties in Jamaica. And I love like St. Anne, I love St. Mary, Gates of Edges. I love this place called something another hill. I love it. I love it. I love what is going. I love the way they build, the amenities that they build in the communities, in the gated communities. You have your swimming pool, your tennis court, country club, and all of that. And you can either opt for 2 bedrooms or 3 bedrooms, whatever you want. And they're basically finished. Like, there's nothing much you have to do. They're moving ready. I was looking at one the other day, some of them that build like villa style. So you can choose whatever you want. You can buy the ones that you can have a big backyard, you can do your gardening, and you can do your stuff. You can plant your trees around your house. They show them well and they make sense. Depends on what you want to do, how in your life, if you want to just lay back and relax, travel to and from there to here, or you just want to go home and just relax. All right. Talking about going home and relax or traveling back and forth, you still need money. So, me approaching 60 years old, I have at least 5 more years to retire, right? So, when you're thinking about that, you have to say if you're going back home to live, and you're not going to be coming back here till 6 months on and 6 months off, then you have to have money to live in Jamaica. If I go to Jamaica, say I was planning ahead and I'm ready to go home now. I'm not retired yet, and a little bit of my history is I took a early, it's not early retirement, but it's like the company that I used to work for 20 years before I'm working at this previous company I'm with now had given me a good package to, they were doing something else and they said, do you want to stay or do you want to go? We will pay you to go. And I grabbed that so I can use my money to buy a house cash in Jamaica. Oh gosh, I don't want to give away too much information, but I'm just saying, what if? Or I can have that money for my retirement, if I want to take early retirement now, get my house set up in Jamaica. And it's between me and my husband, and then we go back and forth. But you have to know that if you take early retirement, you're going to be losing money because you have to pay a lot of taxes. So I have to be very smart about that. All right. And you can tell me in the comment section what you think. You have to be very smart about that. Number 2, I'm gone past number 2 already. Another thing I'm researching and thinking about is, how do you stay here and do all of this? Do your research, have somebody to adjudicate or to advocate on your behalf while you're here and doing the transition in there, because you cannot it's hard for you if you're working to be going back and forth to do all of this. So a couple of years ago I went to Jamaica and I brought some money with me to open an account, because the first thing you have to do is open an account so that you can start a financial process, because you're going to buy a house, and so you want to be affiliated with a bank, whether it's the National Housing Trust or Jamaica National, any one of them. So I went into the bank, and one of the things that I forgot, I had all of my documents, like my TRN card, because I had applied for that when I went to Jamaica previously. I had my TRN card. I have my other document to bring down to Jamaica and left them here. So when I went into the bank, and I think it was Jamaica National, and I told the lady that I want to open an account. So she go bam bam and she look in the system and she said, actually you're in the system, because I remember I had an account with Jamaica National, and I also had an account with NCB Bank, National Commercial Bank. So she found my history on both the system. But she said to me, your bank account lay dormant for a while, because I used to send money to Jamaica National, and for some reason I just stopped. And she said, you had money, but your account laid dormant. So fees, like, fees to keep the account until you come back in, and we have sent you notification if you want to continue with the account or whatever. So our explanation is that I basically have to start all over again. So she asked me for my documents, and I told her, unfortunately, because I called my husband the night before, and he sent them, he took the pictures of them and sent them to me. I said, I have them on my phone. She said, no, we cannot use the documents on your phone. There are a lot of red tapes, guys. She said, maybe she's right. She said, I cannot use documents on your phone. You would have to have the hard copy. So there goes my plan to put someone to open the account. And I had quite a lot of money with me to open the account, but I did not get through with that. And I haven't been back to Jamaica since a year and a half ago. So that process, you know that if you're going to buy a house in Jamaica, you have to open an account because you have to get the mortgage. If you are going to buy the house cash, you still have to have a bank account. You still have to have a history. You have to have a bank account to do the business of buying the house, right? Because I'm thinking of the best way to go is to buy the house cash, or put a lot of money down on the house, because at my age, when you're over 50, it's hard for you to get a mortgage. There's going to be a lot of back and forth as a returner. And listen, returning home is not as easy as one think it is. It's hard. There's a lot of red tapes. All right, so yeah, that part of it. So I tried to do that, but it didn't work. So I'm basically, as I told you, I'm in the research stage of want to go back home. So I can read a little bit of things for you to see. So who is eligible for the returning resident concession? In order to be considered as a returning resident and to benefit from the concession afforded to returning residents, you must satisfy one of the following conditions. 1, be a Jamaica national who has attained the age of 18 years and was been residing overseas for the last 3 consecutive years and is returning to Jamaica to reside permanently. All right. So I'm qualified. Be a Jamaican. Number 2, who gave up your Jamaican citizenship and can provide proof of that previous status and wishes to return home. So even if you gave up your citizenship, some countries don't have dual citizenship. So if you become a citizen of some countries, you would have to give up your citizenship for the other country, whether you were born there or not. I think Jamaica, we have dual citizenship with Canada. Be a non-Jamaican whose spouse is a Jamaican and returning residents. That qualifies you too. A deported person who has been residing overseas for the last 3 consecutive years and a returning student. So what are the documents required for submission to the JCA to qualify for returning resident status? So returning resident must visit the Jamaica Custom Agency. Returning resident unit and submit the following: a valid Jamaican passport or foreign passport that's endorsed with the unconditional landing stamp, validate bill of landing or airway bill, taxpayer's registration number, which is the TRN that I told you I already have, because I'm thinking about it, so I did have that. Documentary evidence that will sustain, that will substantiate residency outside of Jamaica for 3 consecutive years. 3 consecutive years, documentary evidence that substantiate intention to reestablish permanent residence in Jamaica, and returning student should present transcript, confirmation letter of attendance from last institution of study, and identification card issued by the institution deported institution. Deported persons should present their deportation or the case file letter for the Passport, Immigration and Citizenship Agency, and picture identification. So that is what you need to have, and then they have links and offices that you can call. All right, so I am eligible to get my returning residence establishment in Jamaica. So here's what I am going to take you through the journey with me. Am I going to go to Jamaica next year? The end of this year, next year? I don't know. I don't know yet, but all I know, I am proactive in getting back in Jamaica, and I want to take you on this journey with me. All right, so thank you so much for listening, and thank you so much for always tuning into me. Let me tell you something that I'm thinking. So guys, I'm on YouTube, and sometimes YouTube can be very funny. Thank God I'm monetized, and celebrate with me. I'm happy about that. But one of the things that can prevent you from gaining momentum on YouTube is if your commentary is against the government. You don't know who is censoring you. You don't know who is managing. Because one of the time before I got monetized, I was warned that they're going to look into my contents to see if I'm qualified. What that means, they can look at your content and decide that they don't like what you're putting out there. And that can delay your monetization. I know I fell in that category because I'm a very political person. And so you never know what can happen. I'm just saying. So, sorry, in case you are my subscriber and you are not getting notification, retouch the notification bell, guy. You're going to reteach your notification bell, because probably YouTube might not push my video if they look and see that I'm talking about something that they don't really want me to talk about. I'm just thinking, because sometimes when you look and your viewership is low compared to other time when you're talking about other stuff, your viewership is high. It could be that you're getting flagged, and maybe that can be happening. But no problem. Just reteach your notification bell and press all. You want to be notified with all, that when I post a video, you can see it first. So go down this up this road with me. I'm trying to transition into going back home to Jamaica, and let us see. There are a lot of information, but I don't want to give all of it today because I want this to be an exciting journey. So thank you for listening. Love you all. And remember to like, share, subscribe the video, share the link with your friends, and help Sharon I'm on my way to 2,000 subscribers. So guys, love you and peace out.